Meeting to order, July 2nd, 2018. Notice has been duly posted. Roll call.
Mayor Joe Chilson,
Here.
Alderperson Kim Smith,
Here.
Alderperson Ron Jertson.
Here.
Filling in for City Engineer Jared Holter, myself, Kevin Schubert, Assistant City Engineer. Finance Director Fred Bueller is excused.
I guess, didn't say anything to me, but I guess,
I think so.
yeah. Okay. Approval of the minutes of previous meeting.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Alder Jertson, seconded by Alder Smith to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? So moved. Could you turn my volume down just a little bit, please? Public input, anybody wishing to give public input, please step to the podium. Give your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Thanks, Your Honor. I won't come close to 3 minutes. Thank you for opening the floor to me. I just want to bring the committee up to speed. I requested and addressed a letter to the mayor on June 13th. Jared Holter got it, Kate Aspenson got it, Chief Miller got it, and Sergeant Berg. And it was pertaining to the speed limit from the roundabout by Menards north. And I want those individuals to take a look at it, and I'll be requesting that to be lowered to 25 because of the amount of traffic coming and going there, and walking and biking pedestrians up and down that street. So I'm hoping the committee will put it on next month's discussion if possible. And
I have to apologize. I asked for it to be on today's agenda, but
yeah, and I'm guessing it was a little tight in there. Yeah, so I understand, Your Honor. But this, hopefully we can get it on next month and take a look at it and see what we come up with. But we have been, over the last year, I've been working with the police department and most closely with Sergeant Berg and trying to slow the traffic up. And we got that sign out there now, again, the blinking thing. But it's not working. So if you would put that on next month, I'd appreciate it.
could I ask a question?
Thank you.
Danny, could I ask you a question? Did they put a trailer out there? Put a trailer out there?
Need sign, yes.
Okay. Did we get a report back on that trailer?
I don't believe so yet. It was.
Okay, I'll ask
the end of
Tim for
last
that.
week as far as
I'll ask Tim for a report, because even, I probably shouldn't say this, but even though that trailer may not flash the speed, it's still recording. So we can get
Yeah, we've had that out probably 3 or 4 times over
Okay,
the
well,
last year.
I'll take a look at that report to see what kind of action it was recording.
What everybody thinks. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to give public input? Second call. Anyone else wishing to give public input? Third call, final call. Anybody wishing to give public input? That portion is now closed. Consideration, possible action of the following items: review and consideration, professional engineering services for the design of Abbey Road project.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, item 4, Abbey Road reconstruction project, staff report. Abbey Road annexation was finalized July 1st, 2018. In order to complete the water and sewer extension in the 2019 street and utility plans must be started for spring bidding and summer 2019 construction. City engineering staff does not have current capacity for design of this project along with other proposed as part of the 2019 capital improvement budget. The proposed project design funding would be split between the general fund, water, sanitary sewer, and storm sewer capital project funds. Staff is currently soliciting quotes for the service. We do have one quote that we have received. We are engaged with other engineering firms to have additional quotes, and we will have those for the city council meeting next Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
So you don't really need any action?
No action at this time.
Let the record reflect that the city administrator has joined us, and I have a question. Is Fred on vacation? But he wasn't going to, he was not scheduled to be here? Okay, okay. Just so somebody knows that he was not supposed to be here. That's fine with me. Okay, item 5, review and consideration of amendment number 1 for professional engineering services for 6th and Quincy Street lift station design.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Based upon an initial design of the proposed 6th and Quincy lift station, it was determined a standalone stick building was the best long-term solution for this facility. The initial request for proposals requested the use of a prefabricated engineered building. During the siting of the new building, staff to look at the expansion of the building to house sanitary sewer generations, pumps, equipment, etc. With the addition of a traditional building and the additional space for storage, engineering services were expanded. Strand Associates is requesting an $18,000 for additional services. This would have the total project design of $77,900. The 2018 capital projects budget included $100,000 for preliminary and final design.
Okay, are you looking for some kind of consideration tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a motion? Consideration of amendment number 1.
Make a motion that we approve amendment number 1 at a cost of $18,000. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's a motion.
Okay, motion made by Alder Smith. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alder Jurtson to approve amendment number 1 in the amount of $18,000.
And then under discussion,
Yes.
Kevin, can you tell us what the additional space is necessary for?
When we got looking at the project and looked at the existing capacity of the sanitary sewer budget department, we had initially had just a small building that was going to house just the new electrical controls and the generator. When we got further along in discussion and brainstorming with staff and consulting engineer, staff brought up about a couple years back, we had an overflow event at this thing, the pumps got clogged, where we had to, from there, we had to go back to the public workshop, get the generators, get the pumps, bring them back. So staff was looking at, since we know we had a event here where we had a clogged pump at discharge a few years ago, it'd be nice to house some of that equipment needed at the facility. This is our largest lift station in the city of Onalaska. It carries the most flow. This will have future flows from any expansion east of Sand Lake Road out by Menards. The Abbey Road annexation will flow into this. So this is sort of a larger service area, and we started looking at the design lifetime of extra area stuff sort of east and north of the Wellington Greens neighborhood could potentially flow into here in future years. So we started looking at what the sanitary sewer department actually needed for size and space of additional equipment to facilitate our largest lift station, where we know in the past we had a clogging event a few years ago. That led us to look at having some additional equipment on site, backup generators, backup pumps, lift chains, other safety equipment for personnel to access the lift station if needed during an event. So just trying to house some of the additional tools needed for the lift station on site.
And is this equipment that we currently have, or is this additional equipment that you would plan to purchase
No,
at a
all-
future point?
All of this stuff right now is owned
Okay, thank
by
you.
the city. We do have a little extra space in there for expansion as the sanitary sewer district potentially expands over the life cycle of the lift station. We're looking at a 30-year design life frame for the lift station for calculating future flows. So we're trying to have some space that we know we need now, generators, pumps, safety equipment, and then potentially something down the road would be a little extra room for there. But yeah, it's basically for existing equipment to be housed on-site at the facility that would need it.
Thank you.
Okay, Alder Jurtson?
Sounds to me like we're planning for the future.
We try to.
Doing your job, in my opinion. I only had one question, really. Do we typically go prefab, or do we just build it on site?
Typically, it's built on site, and the request for the proposals and trying to sort of keep costs down at a minimum, we started with that because we're only looking at, we need a room for a couple VFDs and a small 100 kW generator, so we don't need a large
Right.
block building or something. So a prefab building, especially in the sanitary sewer associated with lift stations, are sort of go hand in hand these days. But like I said, once we got into a more thorough design, what our future needs are, when we started looking at what the future flow, potentially sewer district that would flow into this lift station in 20 or 30 years, we started realizing that we're gonna need some extra space for future equipment.
That's the one that we had to bypass a couple years ago?
Yes, correct.
One that had all that towels and all kinds of junk?
Correct, yeah.
Stuck in the pump?
Yeah, ragging and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, one of the reasons I brought it up is if we go prefab, we're not gonna have a local contractor be able to get involved. Basically, that you set it in site on the footing, tighten it down, and assemble it.
No, the first, in the preliminary design, we had a prefabricated building in that. This one will not be
So it
prefabricated.
goes out to contractor, that's,
It'll go out to contract, but it'll be bid, has the total bid package
okay.
with the project. It'll be bid as one project, so,
Whoever gets it, gets it.
yeah, what trade wants to build it and sub out the pumps, or do the pumps and sub out the building, but yeah.
But the opportunities for local work,
Opportunity is for local work, yes.
that's my point. Thank you.
Anyone with any other questions? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Abstentions? So moved. Item 6, review and consideration of manhole rehabilitation on Tillman Drive, Johnson Drive, and Lincoln Streets. Kevin?
Yes, thank you. Paving of Johnson, Tillman, and Lincoln Streets were added to the 2018 paving project. Staff inspected the sanitary sewer manholes along these streets and found that the 4 manholes need installation of a spray liner to ensure structural integrity. This project was funded through the 2018, would be funded through the 2018 sanitary sewer utility operating budget for contractual services.
I'll make a motion so we can get it on the floor for discussion. Make a motion to approve the proposed manhole rehabilitation not to exceed $7,760.
Second.
Motion made by Alder Smith, seconded by Alder Jurtson to approve the manhole rehabilitation on Tillman Drive, Johnson Drive, and Lincoln Street not to exceed $7,760. Discussion. Yes.
And then under discussion, why wasn't this included in the original paving project?
Separate.
It's a little bit separate. The paving project is only looking at the street itself. When we do this, some of the utilities in this area, especially this area, the sewer was there, and the water main has been sort of added to. Patchwork has, the development is sort of stretched away from the football field a little bit there. So we didn't see that as part of the paving project. One of the things we do now is manhole casting, adjustments and resetting. And part of the things the city staff does now as part of that is we go out and inspect them to see if they need new casting, new adjustment rings. And when we popped these, we found that, remembered that these are actual, there's one concrete block, manhole out of manhole concrete blocks, and the other 3 are red brick manholes. So these are some of the
Wow.
older
Antique.
style.
Can you save them for the museum?
Moses made those.
Yeah, so when we went out there and we discovered those, with the budgeting process, we can't use it under the
Right.
capital improvements for paving. That's comes from the general fund. But we are looking to use this out of the sanitary sewer contractual fund. The liner will help strengthen the existing manholes and should make them sort of, not like new, but really improve their age. At something that's very reasonable. We wouldn't have enough money to send a heavy piece of equipment, dig it out, tear up the road. That would cost a lot more. So we're trying to get something to, we've identified a problem here, and we want to fix it while we're in there working on paving, because these couple of streets, once they're paved, we're trying to get a few more years out of the underground
Right.
utilities in this area.
Sure, thank you.
Alder Jurson?
Good general maintenance, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Okay. Anyone else? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Abstentions? So moved. Item 7, review and consideration of bids received for Main Street and Sand Lake Road, 12th Avenue Traffic Signal Improvement Project. Kevin?
Yeah, hi, this project was being rebid. We had originally bid this in June of 2018. We only had one bidder at the time, and that bidder was above the estimated project budgeting, so we have rebid the project. This is for discussion only. The project will be bid Monday, July 9th at 10 a.m., and the bids will be brought directly to the city council the following day on Tuesday for review and award.
Okay, any questions? Okay. Item 8, review and consideration of state municipal agreement for County Road SS reconstruction. Kevin?
Yeah, yes, thank you. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation will be performing work on State Highway 157 in 2020, which will include the city portion of County Highway SS. City staff had worked with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation on installation of new concrete pavement as part of this project on the City of Onalaska maintained portion. The large amount of truck traffic and starting and stopping in this area, staff recommends that this is a long-term pavement choice for the location. So we are looking to have the agreement approved and moved forward to City Council for final approval.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Excuse me, I should say, is there a motion? Okay,
I make a motion to approve.
okay, Alder Jurtson makes a motion to approve,
Second.
second by Alder Smith. Discussion. Anyone? Hearing none? Oh, yes, go ahead,
I guess
Kevin.
just for information, what we're doing tonight is sort of approving the municipal financial agreement with the state. I'd like to point out that the costs currently listed in there are still estimates. The state is currently designing it, so it shouldn't go too far from what you see in here, but it's something that we'll plan for in the capital improvements coming up this fall and stuff, but these are not final numbers yet. But
Okay.
we have to enter into the agreement to be ordered to calculate the final shares.
Would you do the council a favor and when this comes to council, would you put estimated in front of those costs there, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Abstentions? So moved. Item 9, review and consideration of closure of the 200 block of Riders Club Road for Rugged Run event on Saturday, August 4th, 2018, from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Kevin?
Yeah, City Park and Recreation has requested the closure of Riders Club Road on Saturday, August 4th, from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the annual Rugged Run Race. This event has been held in the past with no incidents. Staff would recommend the approval of this and the allowance of a road closure.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alder Jurtson to approve, seconded by Alder Smith. Discussion.
Under discussion, I have a question. So then, does our police department monitor the road closure, and is that cost something that is bore by the city?
Yes, the police department will monitor it as part of the special events permit the run would take out. In terms of finance, I don't know about.
they use the cadets.
Oh, they used the cadets, yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Alder Jurtson, you look like you have a question boiling.
No, I have no question. Thank you for paying attention.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Abstentions? So moved. Item 10, review and consideration of motor replacement at well number 7, including funding sources. Kevin?
Yes, thank you. The motor at our well number 7 was removed by municipal well and pumped after a recent failure. Repairs were made, and upon the second installation, the windings failed on the motor. Staff has received a quote for new windings that could be installed in the existing 2002 motor or installation of a new motor. Staff is recommending the replacement of the existing motor as a better long-term solution due to the increased motor efficiency and age of the existing motor.
Okay, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Alder Jurtson to approve,
Second.
second by Alder Smith. Discussion.
Junk.
Yeah, kind of. We got it out for service, and they came back, and then it just so happened that the windings broke, so yeah, we're gonna,
It's 18 years old. It's failed.
correct.
Get rid of
Would like to point out in a quote from Municipal Well and Pump, they are going to deduct the labor and mobilization to install the pump.
Good.
Not something they have to do, but they kind of felt bad that they had just serviced it and they got it back and didn't catch it. So they are taking over $4,800 off the bill and are just charging us for the new motor itself and are providing the installation and transport free of charge to the city.
Okay,
I'd have only one question. If they just serviced it, it's not that they missed something. Sometimes, like with the windings, you can damage them. Pretty easy to not know it. You know, especially with them that old.
That's not the impression we got from them. They have done a lot of
You
work.
know, I'm looking at it and
Thing, but
I wasn't there, but,
coincidence, yeah, I mean,
no, I get quite a bit of experience with it, and usually those two things kind of, you got an old piece, it's like taking fine china together that's cracked. I'll give it to them.
my understanding from working with them here at the city of
That's nice for them to do
Alaska
that.
and in my previous employment in the engineering field, that they are a very reputable firm.
No, that's very nice.
You know, and
Very
so they immediately offered to cover it, and they felt bad that they were still on site. It worked like 6 minutes or something like that, and so they felt excessively bad.
I don't need to be there, I know what happened now. That's nice for them to do that anyways.
Alder Smith?
Yeah, my question was on the cost then, so it would be not to exceed $19,200?
That's
Is
correct.
that correct? Thank you.
Okay, so we will add that to
And I just wanted it clarified for the record.
the amount of 19,200 to the motion. Any other questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? So moved. Item 11, review and consideration of bids received for Pond 17 project located on South Kinnicooly Road. Kevin?
yes, thank you. Bids for the Pond 17 project will be open Monday, July 9th, 2018, and brought forward for possible action at the Tuesday, July 10th, 2018 Common Council meeting. This work will make repairs from 2017 storm damage with the partial cost of reimbursement through federal disaster declaration. Just to add to that, yes, this was damage in the July 21, 22, 2017 event. The city has gotten and will receive FEMA funding for this. FEMA will pick up 75% of the cost. The state of Wisconsin will pick up 12.5% of the cost, so the city's only gonna pay 12.5% of an estimated $115,000 project. So the city's getting a very good deal on this work.
So what's the price of it then?
It'll roughly, we hasn't bid yet, but just for,
We haven't bid yet, okay.
This is for discussion.
just for information only.
Okay, okay,
We've talked about this a few
Yep.
times.
yep.
It's the
But
same thing.
Same thing, right, yeah, finally got FEMA approval and we're moving forward. We'll be
That's what
constructed
we
this
were waiting for, weren't we?
Correct.
See where that would go.
Yep.
That's nice. Good work.
Information only, Mr. Mayor.
Yep. Item 12, the pay estimates. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pay estimates.
There should be 16,
I got 16.
Oh,
dated
maybe
July
there's some
2nd,
double ones.
2018.
16, I'm sorry. Okay. I counted here when I could have just looked over here, so excuse my ignorance.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Alder Jurtson, seconded by Alder Smith to accept the pay estimates, the 16 pay estimates. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Abstentions? So moved.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Alder Jurtson, seconded by Kevin to adjourn at 6:58 PM. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Abstentions? We stand adjourned at 6:58.